Well, folks, I have to say, I think we've got ourselves a mental health support group here. This is something interesting. We have the market accelerating its declines after earlier. Earlier, we saw the news, capital gains tax news. Take a peek at that. Saw the news. Then we saw a dramatic decline in stocks a couple hours ago. We saw stocks start coming back up. Stocks starting to recover. Like, hey, it's just news. No big deal here. Happens. Nope. Folks, volatility has spiked. We are at 19 right now, up about 9%. We have more volatility in the market right now than we did 2 days ago. And now the market is selling off even more. Let's take a peek. We'll go ahead and start in the reverse, though. We'll start with what's good. I do want to just quickly also show you, see, here's the volatility peak that we're seeing. So if we can, there we go. See that a little better that way. So this was 2 days ago. We have now exceeded that volatility. Unipath and Nickel are really holding on to their gains today, and so is Hyliion. But it looks like Enphase has trended a little bit more towards the downside after that bad news sell-off we had right here. You could really see where the bad news hit the market here. The capital gains news. Watch the other video if you haven't for that. But here was our first decline, second decline. We've really consolidated here lower. But we've certainly seen more stocks sell off even further. Just looking at the positive here, Solar Edge, Enphase kind of holding on. AT&T, very good food company. ChargePoint's 3%, AT&T 4%. Again, volatility is very high. UiPath doing great at about 12% up. We got Dogecoin slipping down to about that 28 range. Tattooed Chef and Neo around that 2% range. Matterport 1.26 to the positive here. Palantir's up 1%. But this is a far cry from the momentum that we had this morning. Let's take a look at some of the losers, which there are more of now. We've got big digital assets down 11% here. I mean, this particular stock here moves so dramatically. It's incredible how much this thing moves. You've got Riot Blockchain and Marathon solidifying that about 11% down here. Voyager Digital tried recovering. It really tried recovering and then sort of refell over here. And so we're consistently seeing the struggle to get these stocks back up. Same thing with Coinbase, struggle to try to get things back up, and another sell-off here. Same thing happening just across the board here. GameStop, American Airlines, everything trending down. You've got Tesla down 3%. All of the gains from yesterday gone. NGA up 3%. You've got Penn National Gaming. I'm sorry, down 3% for NGA. Penn National Gaming down 2.69%. There it goes. Just broke under 90 for Penn National. Roblox back into the 69 range. Walgreens in the 52.66 range, down 2.5%. JP Morgan's down 2%. Amazon's down 1.7%. EXP went from green to red. Blink Charging's down. You name it. Dow's down almost a full percent here. NASDAQ down almost a full percent as well. And the S&P index is down about 0.9%. Let's take a peek and listen here to CNBC for a moment. Let's see what they got to tell us.
Changes, in policy coming from Washington.
Shares of AT&T are higher on stronger than expected earnings and streaming subscriber growth. Julia Borson's got those details for us. Hi, Julia.
Well, AT&T beat expectations pretty much across the board as mobile streaming, internet subscriber growth, and HBO Max subscribers all surpassed expectations.
I bet you Fox is having a field day right now. Let's listen in.
The doctor ordered.
There's a commercial. But I can only imagine Fox has got to be like ripping their hair out right now. I want to see Larry Kudlow. Larry Kudlow, the former director of the National Economic Council under Donald Trump. He has his own show now on Fox, and you can only imagine Larry Kudlow's freaking on this announcement from the Biden team. And it's really right now, still a leaked announcement. Details are still missing. So we're still shy on exactly what this is going to entail. But we certainly know that the market is not loving what's happening right now. All right, let's get back over here. So taking a peek more at our watch list sticks here, we got Playboy moving down 6.4%, Coinbase barely holding on to even 290 right now with the downtrend continuing. You've got Arcimoto down 7.89. Let's see here. Oh, wow. I just got this notification here. A sailor spent 4 years aboard an abandoned ship, condemned to a life without power, sanitation, or company. Today he was freed. He spent 4 years on an abandoned ship. Wow. And you'll learn a thing or two about the wilderness in that way. Jeez. But wonder if it was on an island. I don't know. That's interesting. Sorry, I'm getting distracted here. Anywho, Clover's down at 856, down 5.4%. Vuzi's down 4.3%. Twitter's down. Here we go. Fox is back in session. Let's see if they're complaining the way we expect them to be.
About 1%. Take a look at Match and Spotify defying the sell-off right now. Both are trading higher by 1.5%. The online dating and streaming radio service also moving perhaps on this. Both companies taking on Apple and Google yesterday on Capitol Hill in an all-out slugfest over the tech titans' app stores policies, which many developers accuse of being anti-competitive, charging too much in commission. And then Apple AirTag predecessor Tile was there as well, as Democratic Senator Richard Blumenthal from Connecticut both called out Apple specifically for Sherlocking. For those of you who don't know, Sherlocking is kind of a techie term that critics use to describe Apple's history of researching out its competitors and its wildly popular App Store competitors, copying what they do, and then doing whatever they can to, literally erase their competition. Tile, again, just an allegation, but Tile CEO CJ Prober saying while he welcomes fair competition, Apple's history has left him, quote, skeptical. But as the attack on these app stores continues, host of Kudlow, Larry Kudlow, joins us. Listen, if you wanted to defend Apple and Google, you could say you guys.
Okay, we're going to pull off this for a moment. I'm just reading up a little bit more on the tax plan. Still no information other than we know that Biden will give us additional details on April 28th. Now, usually what Biden does is he releases the paper details the morning of. So the morning of the 28th is going to be something else. But his actual speeches generally don't provide all the extra details. Let's listen to Kudlow.
Free world. If you want to charge commissions, go on ahead and charge commissions. That's the way the business works, okay? I don't know if that's true, Liz. I'm just making this up because you told me Blumenthal.
Coinbase just plummeted down to, it just briefly hit 286, 287 for a moment. It's back to 289 right now, but it did just have a nice sharp further decline here. Getting to be a little bit difficult for stocks to hold on to a happy day here. Churchill Capital, though. Churchill Capital almost completely recovering from its sell-off. Still down 1%, though.
But is it fair to wield that now and lord it over everyone?
Look, I don't have any problem with investigating. And I know there's monopolistic or oligopolistic
Let's
issues.
back off Apple.
Here. So we're pretty much right on target.
Oh. Mike, where's the street on Nikola? Does that mean that put the concerns about fraud, the allegations about fraud from the short seller behind them, hearing Ubben talk about the progress and seeing the rise in the stock?
I don't know if that's going to put those concerns behind him, because he also, great things to say beforehand, before a lot of those revelations are out there. I think there's real deep.
All right, we'll pause on this for a moment. Take a peek at this. Wall Street on tax plan. It will incentivize selling this year. No kidding. Jeez, man. President Joe Biden's likely proposal to nearly double a tax on capital gains. This was our expectation, especially if it ends up being a 2022 tax hike. Wall Street traders, predictably focused on the policy's implications for investing, said it was too soon to panic, but the prospects of a higher levy on stock profits could foment near-term selling as investors look to skirt a higher tax rate. No kidding. Any kind of gains that you want to take, you want to do it this year. Now, usually people offset their selling with buying, so it will create some more, volatility. But this is a good argument here. See, the devil will be in the details. That's literally what I said on my stream earlier. Will it be retroactive all of this year, and then you wouldn't need to sell it right away, or will it be the beginning of next year? That is absolutely the big question. That is the question on everybody's mind. Nobody knows the answer to that right now. But you can certainly look at the S&P 500 here, and it's plummet after this tax news here. which in fairness, plummet is like 0.5% for the S&P 500, but that does affect a lot of underlying stocks substantially. So I know it's easy to say, it's only 0.5%. Oh, it hurts a lot of stocks in the S&P a lot. Look at Tesla down 3% on this news now.
A 3-year lead. And so that's not going to change overnight. And the foundry business is not easy to do. It's very specialized business units. Certain people, they don't have those certain people, right? So that is going to be topics on the call for sure. And by the way, they already pre-announced the quarter, so we know it's going to be good, and it's going to be led by PCs. That's 51% of their total revenues. And we got numbers from in March on notebook shipments up 32%. So we know the numbers are going to be good. Just how good? Maybe much better than what they already pre-announced. But I think the guide is going to be kind of conservative because they have these other things to deal with.
All right, we're going to pull off this for a moment. We do have earnings coming up. Let's go ahead and take out the earnings calendar here and see what's coming up. If I can bug you, if you have not done so yet already, go to my Twitter if you can, @RealMeetKevin on Twitter. I would love your help retweeting Joe Manchin so we can get some insights from Joe Manchin on this. More retweets means greater likelihood that it shows up in his notifications and mentions. And so we said, hey, Joe Manchin, would you be open to discussing, to an interview on YouTube to discuss Joe Biden's infrastructure plan, future stimulus, and capital gains taxes? Would love to have you, to host you. So, yeah, highly recommend even quote retweet this. Very important, whatever. We need to hear from Joe Manchin because all it literally takes is Joe Manchin to go, dude, I am not for this capital gains increase. Stocks will skyrocket again. That's all it's going to take. So yeah, I highly of anything, this is one that I encourage your support on, whether you're left or right. I think everybody wants an answer on that one. All right, earnings today. We have Snap, we have Intel, we have Mattel, Boston Beer, we've got Seagate Tech. VeriSign reports today. Have implications for DocuSign. BJ's Restaurants reports today. We have 2 minutes left to the closing bell. And who else is going to be interesting? I mean, I'm sure all these companies are interesting. First Financial Bancorp. What else? Alpine Income Properties. What else? I think those are probably the big names sorted up at the top. All right. So we'll go ahead and get earnings ready for some of these companies over here. It's going to be good. We are expecting a lot of earnings pretty dang fast within the first 15 minutes after the bell. We will also take a quick look at the sticks one more time before the close here. We've got Big Digital accelerating losses into the close. Riot falling into the close. Marathon falling into the close. Fisker stable into the close. Voyager trying to stabilize. Arcimoto stable. Coinbase had a big sell moment there and is recovering. 292 right now. Boy, oh boy, the timing on Coinbase. Woo! Tesla trending towards the downside, now down 3.37%. Redfin down, Canoe down, lots of pain in this market right now. We do have green again on Ethereum. Volatility's up at 8.4%. Nikola still running here. ChargePoint up 3%. Yeah, QuantumScape up 1.75. But yeah, even Tattooed Chef giving up some of the love here. Look at that falling right into the close. Let's get ready for the closing bell and earnings.
In percentage terms for the S&P and for the NASDAQ composite, and the charts all look of a similar shape as well. That midday sell-off. All 11 sectors on the S&P 500 are low. Real estate is the best performer, down just 1/3 of 1%. Worst performers down more than 1% are materials, energy, tech, consumer discretionary, and financials. So it is quite a broad sell-off with all 11 sectors in the red at the close. As Mike said, the VIX up 7% to 18.8 at the close. S&P 500, Dow, and NASDAQ all down 0.9%. So.
Worst day for stocks of the month of April. Welcome back, everyone, to Closing Bell. I'm Sarah Eisen, along with Wilfred Frost and Mike Santoli, CNBC senior markets commentator. Take a look at how we finished up the day on Wall Street. Big sell-off happened earlier in the afternoon when Bloomberg reported that the Biden administration is looking at raising the capital gains rate by double on higher income earners. You saw the reaction. It was swift. The Dow plunged at the lows of the day down 420 points. We closed down 322. Home Depot, the biggest drag, and it was the worst day for the Dow since March 23rd. The S&P 500 down almost 1%. Worst day since mid-March.
Okay, here we go. Intel. Wow. Okay, a lot of information just came out on Intel. Launching this open here. Intel literally reported right at 4 p.m. So what do we have here? Earnings per share, earnings per share came in at 4.55, estimate of 4.56, pretty much right along expectations for EPS. Adjusted revenues came in higher than expected at 18.6, following estimates of 17.73. Q1 revenue was down 0.8% year over year for Intel. Sees quarter two revenue of $18.9 billion. Q1 data center group revenue of 5.56, lagging the estimates at Intel. Estimates at Intel were for $5.89 billion. Data center group down to 5.56 actual. Let's see here. Trying to see. Oh, sorry. EPS. Hold on. Oh, I'm sorry. Sees fiscal. Okay, when I read the fiscal year EPS, it's actually fiscal year, not quarter. Okay, fiscal year EPS guidance is expected to be somewhere around. Let's see. Adjusted EPS 460, saw 455. Estimate was 456. So that's for the year. Clarifying that for the quarter, we're at 82 cents on Intel Q1. Yeah, Intel Q1 revenue again, 19.67 billion, down 0.8%. Down a little bit on the data center as well. And fiscal year revenue expected to be 72 billion, 72.5 billion versus 72.09. So pretty close to expectations, maybe a slight disappointment. Probably not going to be too happy given that today's such a crappy day in the stock market. Intel in after hours is down 2.8% right now, falling 2.5% right now. It's dancing around between 2 to 2.5% down. So that's Intel. Okay. So Q1 EPS came in at 82 cents. Their adjusted EPS came in at 1.39. However, they did raise guidance, indicating a slight raise for guidance for the year. Okay. So that's Intel. Let's go see Mattel, Seagate, and a VeriSign, Snapchat. Not yet, though we're expecting that within the next 2 minutes. I imagine now we're going to hear Intel.
I'm told that package is expected to cost roughly $1.5 trillion, and that is
Snap's not out yet.
Not all of it would be paid for by higher taxes on the rich. Guys.
Elon, thanks so much for that. Scott Wren, what's your take on how much this could hurt?
Down 2% now on Intel. We are standing by for Snap within the next 60 seconds for Snapchat. Big expectations here. The market is slightly up in the after hours, but only by about 9 basis points here. Snap. I'll take a peek at it here. So Snap was down 1.92% today. Oh, here we go. Now it's up about 0.8% in the after hours. We do not have numbers on Snapchat just yet.
The market fights through it, but doesn't like it very much. So, for us, when you look at this and you look at how discretionary spending, consumer spending, it is dramatically skewed toward high earners. And so this would definitely dramatically affect them, or certainly meaningfully impact them when you throw state taxes in with what's proposed. Some of these states, you're well over 50%. So I think that's something for the market to think about. Right now, most things are just being overwhelmed by the amount of stimulus that's in the system, and that's really going to push GDP up a lot this year. So
Intel falls after quarterly profit forecast disappoints.
Dwell on day after day. Plus,
Okay, Mattel is out. We do not have Snap yet. Mattel is out right now. Mattel net sales came in at 874 million versus an estimate of, oh my gosh, 684 million. That's a big beat on revenue numbers there for Mattel. We are up 684. We are up. That's 27% over expectations on Mattel. We do have an adjusted loss per share of about 10 cents. Gross margin came in at 47% for Mattel versus 43.9% expected. Good move on Mattel. Let's see here. Okay, I'm waiting now for Snapchat. We still don't have Snapchat. VeriSign just came out and Seagate just came out. VeriSign reports revenue of 324 million, growth of 3.7% year over year. That's actually kind of low. It feels like year over year like that. Revenue came in at 323.6 versus 312 million estimate. So slight beat on VeriSign. Mattel at a massive beat. Seagate comes in with 2.73 billion versus estimates of 2.68. Slight beat on Seagate. It's good that we're meeting expectations. I mean, we're really not missing expectations hard here, which is very, very good. We still do not have Snapchat numbers, but overall, what we want to see, even if you're not investing in these companies, folks, you want to see hitting these estimates because the estimates are already high. But we are close on VeriSign. Actually, slight beat on VeriSign, slight beat on Seagate. And we've got fourth quarter for Seagate expected guidance being raised from 2.7 to, or sorry, they're giving a range here. Sees fourth quarter revenue, so next quarter revenue for them, to be 2.7 billion versus, or 2.7 to 3 billion versus estimates of 2.83. So guidance kind of in line on Seagate and slight beats on VeriSign, Seagate. Mattel smashed. Mattel really, really did very well. Mattel raises annual financial outlook following stronger than expected Q1. Still do not have Snapchat. Still waiting on Snapchat. Let's go ahead and see here. Snapchat is vacillating right now, up about 0.5%. We looking at Mattel. Mattel just had a little skyrocket here. Very nice on Mattel. So Mattel coming up 4.7% here in the after hours. Really nice, nice move there on Mattel. Big beat there. A 27% revenue beat. Absolutely insane. So they have not started talking about Mattel yet on TV. I wouldn't be surprised if it moves a little higher. So let's jump on over and listen in.
More broadly, and we saw the NASDAQ 100 pull back quite a lot today. Do you think that's exposed whether we're talking tax hikes or not?
Well, I think for us, a few months ago, we have been overweight tech for quite a while. We took some money off the table. I mean, you could argue we took it off a little bit early, but we still remain overweight. The sector.
Mattel's still moving, up 7.8% now. I tell you, folks, that was a big freaking move on Mattel. A loss of 10 cents versus 35 cents estimated.
Once again, is anything on the capital gains is anything but a done deal. The market knows that, and so I think tech overall
still waiting for Snap.
Some good numbers, which certainly it will. That sector will this quarter, and I think tech's going to continue to be more sensitive to what's going on with interest rates, such as the
Snapchat is scheduled for a 4:10 p.m. release. That would be in about 60 seconds.
Numbers with us. You had a chance to look through. What jumps out for you?
Briefly, yeah. So look, the quarter was very good, but we knew that was going to happen. We knew they were going to beat. The guide is interesting. It's in line on revenue. It's quite a bit below on EPS. So it suggests to me that costs are going up.
Okay, we're going to pull off this guy here. I want to just mention BJ's Restaurants came in with a beat. That's really good for restaurants. We got 40 seconds for Snapchat earnings. Good to see a beat on restaurants, though, folks. BJ's Restaurants revenue coming in at 223 million versus an estimate of 205 million. Comp sales were down only 13% versus an estimate of 21% in decline. Only fell 13%. Not bad. Comp sales beat estimates. We've got a beat on revenue. EPS beats by 52 cents. BJ's Restaurants kicking butt. We are now 10 seconds away from the expected Snapchat earnings. Let's see if they're actually timely. All right, I got Snap up. Right now it's up 0.9%. Here we go. Boom. Revenue coming in slightly above 769 versus 744. Coming in about 3% higher. We have, let's see. Okay. Loss of, wait, what a minute. Okay, loss of 1.71 million versus an estimated loss of 55.9 million. What? No, I don't understand that. Daily active users at 280 million. Daily active users are up 22%. Hold on, let me pop this open a little bit more. I don't know what to make of this. Hold on, let's see here. Loss per share came in at 19 cents. Loss of 286 million, 770. Let's see, what else do we have here? Daily active users, 22% jump. The daily active users were expected to be at 275 mil. They came in at 280. And yeah, revenue at 269.6 versus the estimate of 744. So we do have a beat. I'm going to go ahead and pull up the financial results here. The stock is moving down a little bit despite beating here. Revenue increased 66% to 770 mil in Q1 compared to the prior year. Operating cash flow improved by 131 to 137 million in Q1. They're talking about Mattel. We talked about Mattel a while ago. Let's drop off CNBC just for a moment here. So we've got revenue coming in, 269 versus last year was 264. This right here is public info. This is what Mattel, or not Mattel, this is what Snapchat released. Operating losses coming in at 303 versus 286 last year. Not really, like their net loss isn't really cleaning up. And that's odd. Despite this massive revenue move upwards, you're not really seeing that loss narrow. Like, when is the company going to be profitable, right? Like, where's the money going? And I think that's going to be a big question here. Let's see if we can get advertising expenses. I'm going to go past the highlights here. I want to go to some more of these statements here. So this is the cash flow statement. Looking at assets, current assets, they got almost $1 billion in cash, which is incredible. Their current liabilities are less than $1 billion. They could literally pay off all of their current liabilities with the cash they have. They're well capitalized, but what do we have here? What's going on? Where's our income statement? I'd like to have the income statement. Let's listen to their talk on Snap while I find the income statement.
Cash flow with a very small unexpected net income report of $2.5 million coming to break even on a per share basis. Analysts were expecting the company to report a 6-cent per share loss. Revenue also beating estimates, growing 66% to $770 million. That compares to the $743 million analysts had anticipated. That is the company's fastest growing revenue in 3 years. Daily active users, 4.5 million stronger than anticipated. The company added 15 million in the quarter. That's also the highest user growth in over 4 years, and guidance in a range that's on average higher than the consensus estimates, projecting a range of between 820 and 840 million in revenue in the second.
I'm going to pull back here. I'm a little confused about the revenue that they're indicating, because when we look over here, see, we have here, we show the 3 months ended March 31st, 2021. We have a loss of 19 cents per share. So I don't know why they're talking about being even on EPS. So I'm a little confused by that. But anyway, looking at the numbers here, I'm trying to understand where the big expenses came from. Their cost of revenue went up substantially. Their R&D went up a good chunk, but somewhere around 50%. Their sales and marketing didn't actually go up that much, and neither did their G&A. So they really spend more money on research and development and just cost of revenue, which is really just a catch-all for running their product. I don't know. I'm not surprised the stock is down. I'm a little mixed on this. You know, yeah, okay, cool. We had a slight revenue beat, and daily active users are up, but still a little bit odd. So yeah, maybe that was the adjusted they're referring to. Yeah, and the adjustments are always funny. You really have to dive in. But when we actually look at the income statement, we do show a 19-cent loss here. And again, why did cost of revenues go up so much? I mean, cost of revenues went up to 253, went up 62%. 62% increase in cost of revenues. Now, in fairness, their revenue in general, their total revenue did go up 66%. So it makes sense. It's a proportionate, roughly proportionate incline. But I think the big issue is you're not seeing the company become more efficient at paring down this loss. You'd think if you had so much more revenue, how do you only get $20 million less of a loss, essentially? I don't know. This one would really take a little bit more diving in. So it doesn't surprise me that there's a little bit of confusion in the Snapchat right now, hence this 3.34% decline. Mattel up 5.7%. We got Invitae in the after hours all of a sudden up 4%. They didn't report today, did they? I'll check really quick. Hold on. They're talking inflation. Inflation nation. That's one heck of a headline. All right, what do we got over here?
It's going to get real cold in the wintertime and real hot in the summertime because you're not going to have the power to be able to do this. And the cost of that is going to go up substantially.
I don't see any news on Invitae, so I'm not sure why Invitae is moving. I think that could just be some, who knows, maybe Kathy's doing some buying, whatever. So Enphase actually moving up in the after hours here. Let's try to see what else is trying to attempt to recover here in the after hours. Definitely a messy day here. Where are some of our faves? There we go. Let's sort this a little better. There we go. Tesla's down another 0.25% in the after hours, bleeding out a little bit. Obviously still up much higher since the crash that we've had over the last couple months where we were really sitting on the 600s for a period of time. But boy, oh boy. Tattooed Chef moving nicely up in the after hours, recovering again a little bit. Enphase moving up in the after hours. Good. We have Upstart, Riot, Blockchain moving up a bit in the afters. CRISPR a bit up in the after. The big down in the after here is Intel. Pinterest moving down 1% as well. Coinbase sitting at that 292 now. This tax announcement couldn't have come at a worse time for Coinbase. Yeah. All right. Well, it's gonna be very, very interesting to see how things evolve over the next few weeks here. We certainly have a lot to digest, especially now with Biden's new rumored tax hike. So we'll have to keep an eye on this. Obviously, on the 28th, which is in 6 days, next Wednesday, we will have a full announcement, and then we'll also have a little bit of a better understanding. I would expect to see continued volatility over, honestly, I mean, the next few months, I think, are just going to be a disaster. The market's going to have a very difficult time over the next few months. Hopefully, we have a nice summer rally. Fall rally would be nice as well. Some kind of rally again would be nice. I don't know if we'll see it before June, but we'll just have to buckle up and hold on. I don't know that I would want to not be in the market, because if you're not in the market, you'll miss the rally when it comes. Anyway. That's what we got today. Thank you so much for being here. Make sure to check out the programs, a link down below. I also today I got in the habit of if I read a cool story that's not really worth making a whole video on, I'll oftentimes starting today, I'll read a little story about in this case robotics or whatever that I find that's interesting. So if you want fun facts, more Meet Kevin live streams, check out the private courses, a link down below. Use that expiring coupon code. Consider bundling up. And folks, see you later.